The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's start this conversation. Let's start this conversation. We got no relation.
Good evening, and if you're just tuning in, if you're listening live or watching live, it's UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio Network. You can listen to us on FM on the Gulf Coast and 105.3 and 107.7 FM in the beautiful city of New Orleans, Louisiana, and that's actually where we're broadcasting out of. I'm your host, Lorilei Potvin. A little bit about myself. I'm a Canadian psychic medium, crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic Records practitioner, spiritual teacher and mentor. I'm also an animal communicator. I'm well versed in near-death experiences, having studied them professionally and personally for over 40 years. And I believe I had one as a toddler myself. I'm also extremely well versed in the paranormal. I always say I didn't go looking for it. It found me. And we've shared our story on the Travel Channel's Paranormal Survivor, Season 4, Episode 9, called Demonic Hauntings. You guys can always find that on YouTube and all over the place, wherever you watch those type of shows. I think they're on Netflix. They're everywhere. And you will see a familiar face, and I always like to give her a huge shout out. She's a good friend of mine. Wasn't at the time when we filmed the Paranormal Survivor episode. She was just a professional, not just, but she was one of the professionals who consults on many of the shows that they put out, and her name is Michelle DeRoche. She is our station manager. She's also the host of her wildly popular show here on Wednesdays and Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's The Outer Realm. And she started a second show on Tuesdays from 2 to 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Beyond the Outer Realm. I can tell you, Michelle and I have done some fun shows on both of her shows together. She's been on here as well. So please be sure to check her out. Also, you guys stay tuned afterwards, because we have multiple shows that stream live 7 days a week. When we're not streaming live, the archive server kicks into the last 25 plus years. This network's been around. So we are live 24 hours a day live, because Preston Dennett and Dolly Saffron are up next with the outer, it's not the Outer Realm, the Light Gate. I got the Outer Realm on my brain. But they changed on me. I believe it's, you know what? If Heidi Gall's here, she'll tell me exactly what the name was. It was right on my Facebook page. We got two new hosts. I believe they're called I want to say, I don't want to script any, but it's a Bigfoot show. I know Michelle DeRoche is on that show in 4 hours from now. So you guys may want to check that out. It's brand new. Also, like I said, the show's been around for 25 plus years. We do stream to every country in the world, and we're very grateful for that. I want to give a huge shout out to Joe Montaldo, who owns the network and has created this beautiful space for all of us to come together. He has multiple shows on the network too, including UFO Undercover on Wednesday evenings before the Outer Realm. And he has News on the Flip Side on Friday nights. And he has a chat, and he's a busy man. We're broadcasting out of this beautiful home in New Orleans, Louisiana. What else do I want to tell you guys? I have a checklist, thank God. You guys, it's Carnation Mondays here on UPRN. We want to thank Carnation because he sponsored my show and all the shows on Mondays here. And Carnation is a global brand. So wherever you are in the world, if you're out shopping and you see a product by Carnation, please consider supporting them, because they're responsible for all the live shows that come to you here. And we appreciate that. You can also listen to us very soon. The website's getting a revamp. It's www.uprntalkradio.com. I believe there's going to be a chat room, because 80% plus of our audience is audio only. So it'll be a good place to come together if you guys want to be able to chat. I heard through the grapevine, maybe a merch store coming, which is nice. So keep tuned in for that. That's coming. What else do I want to tell you guys? If you like what you see, please like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends and family. There really is something for everybody on the network. It's not all just UFO and paranormal. That's why we have two names: UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio Network, or just UPRN as we like to call it. If you guys want to watch us on TV, you can. We have our own TV channel for the network. Where you're going to watch that is on Roku. You're going to go to the channel store and type in UFO space P as in paranormal. There should be a drop-down list. I believe we're about the third or fourth one down, and you're looking for UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio Network. I think I remembered everything. I think I did. You guys are going to I'm going to say hi to you guys all in just a minute. Thank you for tuning in. I was just on this gentleman's show. I believe it was 2 Sundays ago, maybe 3. I don't know. Time's going by so quickly. Was it 2? It was 2, wasn't it, Shawn?
Yeah, it was like 2 weeks ago.
It was 2 weeks ago, yeah. He's now on here with us this evening, so I'm going to read you his bio. It's Shawn Ellis. He's the founder and lead investigator of Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal. He's also the host of the Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal podcast. God, I don't want to say that 5 times fast. Gifted empath, clairvoyant, and energy worker specializing in Reiki. Shawn brings a deep intuitive insight to his investigations. He has been actively studying shamanic practices for over 2 years now, further expanding his spiritual and healing work. Shawn and his team conduct paranormal investigations for both residential and commercial clients and frequently travel to notable haunted locations. He is also the backup producer for All Access Network Television. You can find him on Facebook and YouTube under Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal and All Access Network Television. Welcome, Shawn.
Hello.
I was going to tell you could have streamed to your Facebook if you wanted to or not your Facebook, sorry, your YouTube as well.
Yeah, I got it on the Facebook one right now, and then I'll link it up to the YouTube.
Is it the best one to be on right now?
Facebook is right now. So
let's say hi to everybody first, and then we're going to jump into the spookiness and get chatting. So we got Astro Light Paranormal. Victoria and family says hi, Lorilei and Shawn. And Victoria,
guys.
She's going to be on the Angel Rock in the new year. I can't wait. We've got Tristan Jacobson saying namaste, dear soul fam. Hi, Tristan. Welcome. We've got Julie Jean Bassett here saying hi, Lorilei and everyone. Julie Jean Bassett, who's a good friend of mine. She's an incredible animal communicator and one of my mentors for animal communication. She's also helped me with where'd that little monkey go? She's here. Oh, where is she? She's making her appearance again, you guys. I let her come in. Don't pee on anything. Everybody knows who she is. That's Stephen Nicole or Stevie. So Julie's helped me with some of my own animals. I know she's worked with Carrie Lynn Shellhorn, who is also my co-host here on Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Beneath the Hollow Moon. And she also has Spirit Switchboard on Fridays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time too. So I believe Julie has a beginner animal communication course coming up at the beginning of December. I strongly encourage you guys to check it out. She's also got some other things coming up, including I think she's got some spiritual developmental programs she's doing on the weekend. So you, animal stuff, you want to check her out at juliejeanbassett.com, and an incredible shamanic practitioner as well she is. She was just on the Angel Rock, I think it was last Monday. I'm positive it was last Monday. It was very, very recent. Anyway, she's talking about some of the new things she's discovered with healing work and working with different mentors. Guys, this is not time to have an animal war right now. Sorry. Anyways, and I've had a session with her. It was life-changing. So you can check her out for the shamanic stuff at whitetailshamanichealing.com. Julie, feel free to put anything in the chat you got coming up, because I'm just going off of memory. And of course, we got Z Sun Dragon saying hi, Lorilei, and hi, Shawn. I like to call Z Sun Dragon by his muggle name, Kevin. So he's a fellow Canadian too. So let's see. Oh, we went right down to the bottom. Here, I'll highlight that for you, Julie. She says, yes, December 6th and 7th from noon to 3 p.m. Eastern for her beginner animal communication course. You guys check it out. If you ever wondered if you can communicate with animals or not, I believe it's our birthright. And I'm telling you, you will have so much fun. And I would not be surprised if you don't walk away communicating very easily with animals. We got Michelle Wilfong saying hello, Lorilei and Shawn Ellis. Michelle's usually my TikTok mod over there. She still is, but TikTok has banned us. I have no idea why, for 30 days. But you guys check her out as well on TikTok. She's got my haunted apartment. She's got crazy stuff going on over there. We got Lisa Martinello. She says hi, everyone. Everyone saying hi to one another, which we love. Kirby's 100's here. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Let's see. I don't want to miss any, but we've got Michelle Pratt. She's joining us from the future. I always love to tease her about that. She says, good day, Lorilei. Good day, Shawn. She's over in Australia. So it's Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
We've got Gwen Johns. She's saying hi. Is that one of your peoples?
Yep. Gwen John is the producer of All Access Network Television.
Ooh. Thank you for joining us, Gwen. Let's see. Keep rolling down here. We got Vet Girl 84 saying hi, all. Nice to see you here. We got Carrie Fast is here saying hello, everyone. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody here. Then we have Central Mass Paranormal Society.
Yeah, that is Susan Victoria. Yes, she's one as well.
Nice to have you here. We love having new people discover UPRN. So thank you for popping in, for Shawn here, and hopefully you'll stick around, check out some of our other programs. Any of you that are new here. See Shawn saying hi to everyone. Oh, Kevin said hi, Stevie. Everybody knows who Stevie is. Yippee, Animal Wars. Kevin says, no, yeah. I'm holding my dog by the collar right now because she's
Guardian jumps up once in a while. He wants screen time once in a while as well. So.
Oh, well, if he wants to, the more the merrier. Everybody loves to see our animals. That's what I always tell my guests. I've had a few that said, oh my gosh, like my dog, I can hear them barking or whining outside the door, or the cat's like, let them in. The more the merrier. And Julie's saying about animal communication, it's our birthright. And I definitely agree. Don't you, Shawn?
Oh, yeah.
You're trying to communicate? Oh, we have Tina B 2248 over on Instagram saying good evening. So thank you for joining us. Instagram's comments aren't mixed in with the rest of StreamYard, so I got to pop back and forth. So, Shawn, I always like to start at the beginning. I always do, because usually everybody has a really intriguing story about how they got involved in the paranormal, as well as yourself being an empath and intuitive, working on your shamanic practice and following that path in the Reiki. How did you all get into this? What got you interested in this world?
Well, first, I would have to say after my grandmother died back in the 90s there, about 91, I had a vision of her where she come into the church where I used to go to church at all the time. And I was sitting in the back pew where I normally sit. And when she come in the door, she looked like she was younger, like she was just got married to my grandpa. In one of the pictures I seen, she wasn't having a cane. She didn't have her gray hair. She wasn't wearing her glasses. She was in good health. And she comes up and she'll sit right down next to me. She says, don't you ever worry about a thing. You're going to make it. So ever since then, you know, I've had visions and stuff of things that's happening once in a while. And I would get kind of scared of that at first. And then I got baptized. My religion got a little stronger, beliefs. And then I got married. Was going through the second baptism for me because at the time I had to get married in a different church because I was Catholic, because my wife at the time, wife-to-be at the time, was already married, so they couldn't let you marry in a Catholic church. But anyway, when I was going through that, I was getting visions of a lot of stuff, having the devil lean over the side of the building looking at me and says, where's your God now? And I would have visions and dreams of angels and tanks in the desert, things like that, and thunderstorms, and angels were falling out of the sky. And friends would tell me that were preachers of mine, preacher friends, that I was seeing visions of young men have dreamed dreams of yet to come, according to the Bible. So I kind of got scared after that for a while because I've seen things happen before the World Trade Centers happen. I've seen visions of that happen. I'd see our troops overseas in caverns and fighting in wars. And that kind of freaked me out. So I just kind of faded away and quit going to church for a long time. Then later on, after my divorce and the kids are getting older, my youngest daughter started getting into watching, haunted shows and scary shows and everything again. So I started getting a little bit back into it. And she would ask some questions, and she would see shadows along with me at the time. And I just really never said anything at the time, but I knew she was an empath just like me. And I ended up joining a paranormal team and meeting a Reiki master, which started me into the energy work and etc. And from there, I've been on several house investigations and some residentials and commercials. Then I met up with the guy that teaches me shaman stuff now. So, and I've been doing it for about 3 years. But yeah, I've always believed paranormal.
It sounds like your paranormal sort of started more into your adult life than I say a young child.
Yeah, most definitely. I'd say from about 21 up, starting to see things and stuff like that. And even after I got into the paranormal field and got done with my first Menaki rite, I actually went up to my mom and I said, "Hey, Mom," I said, "so this gift is inherited, I know." And she goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Because when did you start seeing things?" And she never really said much, but she said she started seeing things after my grandpa died, which was back in the early 80s. And she would see things back then and wouldn't tell anybody at all because they would think she was crazy anyway.
So I got to ask you, when you said Menaki rites, I'm not familiar with that term.
The Menaki rites was granted upon me by my Reiki master. That is the 9 rites that ground you to everything around you. So you can turn bad energy into good energy and vice versa if needed, and shift energy around. So it definitely helps us. And the more I got to look into it, some of those rites will let you actually transfer knowledge to each other without even really talking to each other.
No, I believe that human beings are capable of so much more than what we've ever been told is possible. I'm just going to say hi to 2 people popping in here and then remind me if I forget, because I wanted to mention something about telepathy. So I know we have Julia Evans joining us from over in the UK. Thanks, Nate. Thank you to everyone for being here. I know it's late over in the UK, so thank you so much for popping in. Kathy Henley Little, I wanted to say hi to you because in particular, because you popped into my head yesterday and I'm going, I wonder how she is. So speaking of telepathy, I was sending you messages and thinking about you because I hadn't seen you in a while. So nice of you to pop in. When we go back to telepathy, it's interesting that you brought this up. And telepathy for people is being able to communicate without using words. And I don't usually go on LinkedIn. I went in there. Somebody, while I was there promoting the show, messaged me something to do with telepathy and a whole bunch of stuff coming up. And I don't know if you've heard of the telepathy tapes. They're going into season 2. It's on YouTube. And one of the guests that I've had on a couple times, her name is Jess Curzon. It's not a real name. She covers her camera because holy cow, she wrote a book and it's about this child named Asher. When he was 6, he was nonverbal. She was a special ed teacher over in the UK. And he, quote unquote, her words, not mine, headhunted her for the work they would be doing together on this planet. And I'm telling you, the stories of that are phenomenal, like phenomenal. They don't even get together. Like they just communicate telepathically. And she knew nothing about this kind of stuff. It's a fascinating story. So the same thing with the Reiki. I I've only had an attunement is what it's called. So that's why I asked you with Menaki rights. I had never heard of that before.
Yeah. After I got my first one is when it actually started into what I call the dreamscape. And that's when my guides started showing up and started teaching me things like one of the dreams I had was with Anubis, and I would be standing in the back of the pyramid and we would be talking about stuff and he would show me things and how to do things. So that to me is like going through time, talking to one of your guides, which I thought was really cool. And along the way, more and more kind of kept coming along that are my guides that actually taught me other things that my Reiki master never showed me. So,
well, and again, I believe we all have guides. We all have a team, right? And we can all connect with them, but it's almost like deprogramming, if you will. And I hate to use that word, but kind of what we've been taught in everyday life, because they're there. I always say,
oh yeah,
angels, if you don't believe in angels, angels believe in you and they're around you. And the one thing when I'm teaching and mentoring people is I always say, any being you're going to work with, whether it's a guide or an angel or, for yourself, you mentioned Anubis, whomever it may be, that's part of your team. And I believe we have different beings that come in at different points in our life.
yep.
You have to give them permission to want to know them and get to know them better and work with them because they respect our free will.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like I said, Anubis was one. I've had Michael show up, and I've had a discussion with Michael and a few other guardians as well. But like I got about 6 of them that I work with, and they've taught me well, and they've kept me out of a lot of strange things that I've encountered that they have helped me take care of.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say, Heidi Gall, were your ears burning? I was just talking about you 5 minutes ago, and I said maybe Heidi Gall's here because I had the name of the new show that's on in 4 hours, and Facebook decided to renew itself. I had it all loaded up. So that's okay. She says, I'm late. I'm just running around getting errands. And Kathy, yes, I know you're going through a lot. So I was sending you some virtual hugs and if it's okay, I always, even with Reiki, I've had this happen before, just some healing for you and your family. And I always believe if our higher self says yes to it, great. Because I remember one time, for example, with the crystal Reiki I do, we were at a doctor's office, my eldest son and I at the time, and this woman was losing her crap. Like losing it. And it was a small room, and the male secretary, I hate to even call him that, but he runs things basically for the doctors. And just amazing guy. And I don't even know how he stayed so calm. So I was sitting there and I was sending her symbols for healing Reiki. And my eldest son said to me, he texted me, are you sending her healing? And I said, yes. So I did it. And I had somebody freak out on me in the chat and say, how dare you? You never, ever do send Reiki to somebody without permission. And I said, well, I didn't get to finish how the intention I had set. I sent it with the intention that if her higher self was open to it, her higher self would accept it. If not, I believe that energy just goes out into the ethers, and someone else's higher self who may need healing may receive it. And it did work. It really did work. It was just so incredible, and it was just almost like she was a balloon ready to pop, and it just
almost most definitely. I mean, if you're in tune with other people around you, you can feel the energy from each other without a doubt.
Oh, you didn't have to feel it. You could hear it. Like she was ready to smack them and slamming her hands on the counter. Like people were getting very uncomfortable. It was a packed waiting room, very little room. There's no way you could ever not feel it, even if you didn't know how to feel energy or not. You could feel and see it.
Yeah. I actually have a video of an investigation we had at the Keysburg Lodge where I was doing Reiki with guests, and you can actually see the energy going back and forth from each other. If you want me to show that.
Oh, sure, you can show it. I'm just going to read this comment if you want to pull it up there for a sec. And the reason why I'm letting Shawn do this, because Shawn's very adept at using StreamYard. I would never do that with the guests, but I know you're capable of setting it up. So Michelle Pratt, or Mish, says to me, sending Reiki is like sending someone all the best of prayers. And like, that's what I always say to people when they work with Reiki, right? And when we work with healing clients, I often hear people say, oh my God, you're the best. I feel so much better. And I always tell them, no, it's not me. I'm just the male person. I'm just connecting, whether you want to call it universe, source, light, love, and healing energy, and connecting it to the person that is open to receiving it.
Yeah, this video here that's at the bottom, you'll have to bring it up.
You can pull it up, Shawn.
No, it won't let me. It won't let me.
I'm sorry. Let me see if I wonder why it won't let you.
But it was when I was at Keysburg with Eternal Paranormal and Haunted Happy Hour, and one of the guests there was her 28th birthday, and she said she felt the energy around her when they were doing a session, and I said, okay, I've got an experiment afterwards. So this is what happened when I was sitting like 5 feet away from her, and then I pulled back 10 feet away. They actually caught the energy going back and forth from us.
Okay.
From the
I apologize. I don't know why was trying to check that while you were talking. I don't know why. Okay, so what equipment, before we go any further? What equipment are you using to?
There's a laser grid up. There's a laser grid up in the background. And then we also got an expensive SLS camera that Eternal Paranormal had at the time. And I asked the young lady to sit across from me, and she put her hands up, I put my hands up, and I was about 5 foot away from her. And you could actually see the energy flowing back and forth from us in the video. And then I actually slid back a little farther from her as well. And you can actually see her hands slightly turn red, the same color as my figure is in that camera.
Okay, well, let's look at it now that we got that little bit of context there. Might give me full screen. Hang on, we'll see.
It doesn't everything that it would be, yeah. Yes. It's the ladies.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you can actually start to see the energy.
I could see it right away.
She was just now discovering that she was capable of empath work, energy work, the night that I was working with her.
And he's red. Usually.
Oh, I'm glad you put this video up. That's really cool, Shawn.
It makes sense that his body is lighting up red. Oh, wow. It's really hot right now. It would be interesting to see if that red transfers to her. Like really hot.
Wow. That's actually a really cool find, or really cool catch that you guys got on this equipment to be able to see that.
Yeah, actually, Haunted Happy Hour was filming this when I was doing the energy work with this lady.
He's not touching her. You see that, guys?
See, I'm not even near her right there. She also said she could feel me writing in the palm of her hands with my fingers and touching her fingers as well.
Your left hand? Yeah.
I almost wish they go to the bottom camera more because you can really see it.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of the distortion in the lasers, but you can actually see it more in the SLS. But they were showing that just to show the distance we were apart.
Yeah, I see some of it in the laser too. But you can really see it in the SLS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was one of those $3,000 SLS cameras they had.
Yeah,
It's really,
that's why I wasn't going to say SLS right away because it almost looks like a FLIR.
yeah, it's a high tech camera they had.
Wow.
See, now I moved the chair back a little farther, and she can still see it and feel it.
I'm going to read everybody's comments in a minute. You're saying this is cool.
Caroline?
Yeah, you can see a bit of a distortion in the laser grid too, but it's
Yeah,
really powerful to be able to see it in the SLS. Because sometimes it's hard depending on what device you're watching this on, right?
right,
Versus the screen. But I mean, there's no mistaking it in the SLS.
right. Yeah, I thought it was cool when they captured that, so I had to snag that video from those guys.
Is it much longer?
It's just a little bit longer, but you can take it down. That's fine.
Are you sure? Okay. Well, let's read it. Thank you for sharing that because that was like really, really awesome. Here, let me just take that off because you know what happens. I don't want to kick you out of here. I guess I was going to delete it, but I don't want to. I don't want it to kick you out.
There you go. I got it.
Thanks, because I didn't want it to kick us just in case. So let's read everybody's comments here. People are pretty impressed, and so am I, because I've never seen. Oh, it'd be nice if it had us on here, wouldn't it? Yeah, there we go. Sorry, it kicked us right out, guys. I hit full screen. That's why. People are going, very cool to see, Mitch says. Victoria, that's amazing. Heidi says she got a parking spot to watch because her daughter went in the store. Well, that's good. Kevin saying that is cool. And then Julia from over in the UK is saying, brilliant, love all about energy. My dad, who passed a long time ago, had skin cancer which spread, but felt I helped him live longer through my hands and the energy Reiki. Oh, that's very beautiful. And thank you for sharing that. I'm sorry for your loss, Julia.
Me too.
No, that's, you know what? Like, I think you told me about that video when I was on your show. But that is a powerful video. Like I said, you could, even if you didn't know what Reiki was, you could still see on the SLS pretty clearly that there was energy being sent and energy received.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great capture that they got because, like I said, that is just proof that you can transfer energy back and forth from each other without a doubt.
Yeah, but if you look at the principles of energy, right? Energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can only be transferred from one place to another. So look at how powerful that is when we're channeling that love, that light, and that healing energy and sharing it with a fellow human being, right? And all people, I believe, are capable of doing this. It's just some people don't know this. For example, after we talked about it on your show about my our family's real extreme paranormal that we went through in our previous home. Right. Well, here I've had little things here and there, but somebody about 2 years ago sent me something because they were angry, and they didn't purposely sit there. I know they didn't, and say, I'm going to send this to Laura's house. And that's not what happened. And I have quite a few people, as I know you would have too, that work in this field as mediums and psychics and what have you. And I was telling 4 different people about this, and they all said, somebody sent that to you, but not on purpose. Now that's where I'm going with this. Like, people don't even understand that if you're angry and you're good at manipulating energy, or you understand how to do it, even if you don't, you can send something to someone.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. When I was on the old team that I was on, somebody actually sent something to the lead, and it actually attacked him on stage when he was singing, because he sung for a band at the time. And at the time, the rest of the team was in the audience. We were watching in the crowd there, and every one of us that had obsidian bracelets or necklaces on, it all broke at the same time it hit him. And he couldn't.
Jewelry broke?
Yeah, my neck chain that I had for like 20 years that I had obsidian in, just went down into my shirt. Some of the people that had obsidian bracelets on from the team landed on the ground, all at the same time when he got attacked by this spirit that was on the ground, or when he was on stage.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? And I always say this, not so much on air, but off air, not everybody's running around thinking love and light. Never mind, some people do practice darker things, right?
Oh, yeah.
And because we're on this yin yang kind of thing of a planet here, when you have something of one, you're going to have the exact opposite of the other.
Almost definitely.
Michelle DeRoshi and I, actually, I think it was October 1st, I was on The Outer Realm, and we were talking about attachments and demonic possessions and infestations and things like this, because a lot of people don't even know they have attachments either, right? Or they work with dark things and can send dark,
right.
Like you said, what happened to you guys. So, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've taken attachments away from several of my old teammates and relocated them, I should say, would be the best word for it. One of the other ones was we had a young boy. I'm trying to find the thing here real quick. That had an attachment that we took care of him right before he turned 12. This little boy picked up the front of a 3-blade riding lawnmower, and those are pretty good size. And he was bouncing it like a basketball. And the Reiki master at the time came down or yelled at us and told us to come down and we needed to check it out. And we had to hold him down. And eventually, just because of that morning, I said Anubis came to me in my dream and showed me how to take care of it. And this was one of the things that happened after we entrapped it. This was a picture of the crystal that we entrapped it in. And if you look at the face.
I make it bigger because it's kind of hard to see. Go ahead, Shawn. Sorry.
My hand's the bluish color. And in the crystal, you can actually see the face in the crystal after we entrapped it.
It's a little bit hard to see. I can kind of see a little bit.
Yeah.
So what did you guys do with the crystal then?
We ended up burying it with salt and letting nature take its course and getting rid of it.
You warded it then and then buried it.
Yeah.
I wanted to put this comment up from Carrie. She said, I believe that people can send good or bad energy unknowingly. 100%. She said, we are powerful more than we understand. 100%. 100%. I agree that. So, like I say, there's, you don't have to, Kevin says, I will send negative things removed to the universe to be recycled or dealt with. And what's really cool? It was a friend of mine. We were having this conversation when dealing with negative things about warding them or what have you. And she said for herself that she sends it to source, sends it back to source and asks source to deal with it. And I thought, that's an interesting way to look at it. You've got another screenshot up here, Shawn?
So we started looking into what the attachment was. And if you could blow that up, I don't know if you can see that picture very well.
It didn't blow up a lot here. I tried.
But the same exact face that's in that picture was the one that's in that crystal.
I can kind of see it. I remember what was in the crystals. Yeah. So. And
then the next morning is the next picture. My sweatshirt that I had on had this.
That's the picture, right? Oh, no. Sorry. Please forgive me. Sorry. I see it now. Here, hang on. It's down below. Okay. So your sweatshirt, you said?
Yeah, it had the same images inside the sweatshirt. If you looked at them, the second one was circled coming from the top is the same image that was in that crystal. There's also a couple wolves in there if you look at it, and you have a Roman soldier in there as well. I think I got another one that's a little better than that picture too. Let's see if I got that.
For a sec.
Here's the other one. That one might be a little better. You can probably see it a little better. But yeah, the Roman soldier in the top one, you got, if you look just right, you can see the wolves in the next two. And then the face of the person that was in the crystal is the one in the fourth one from the top. And then you have just a vision of something looked like a silhouette right there. But that showed up on the back of my sweatshirt the night after we took care of the attachment for the little boy. And it wasn't on my sweatshirt when we left, but when I woke up the next morning, all those marks were on my sweatshirt.
Kevin says, I see the soldier in the second circle. And Julia Evans says, wow. Kevin says fourth now, yeah, in second image. So you might want to pull some of these off for me, please. You know why? Because my Wi-Fi loves to go crazy when I pull stuff up and just leave it sitting there. And I have fast Wi-Fi, you guys, and it still does it. I don't know why. Julie's saying, wow. So people are going, oh, it'd be nice to put us back up. I keep putting it full screen and forgetting to pull us back up. Sorry. Wow, that's insane. Now, I've never told this story. If I have, it's been a long time ago. So in our home, when I was told the name and how to spell it, was told it was a demon. And I say I'm a retired Catholic now, but I was forced to go to Catholic school, church, you name it. And I'd never heard this name before. Told me it's animal form, told me everything.
Mm-hmm.
And what had happened was my son, when he was alive, my youngest son, he would only eat chicken nuggets and French fries because he had severe autism. And in our home, everything was broken. Brand new stove. The stove would not cook. The only thing that would come on was the broiler. And I remember I put his chicken nuggets in, and I pulled the door completely down, pulled his chicken nuggets and French fries out, and the door closed on my arm. And for no reason, like the door wasn't broken. It was the bottom element that you use to cook with. And the burn I got on my arm, there was no dog around. There was no cat. There was no reason for the door to close on my arm. And being a nurse, I know what burns look like. Well, this burn hurt like heck, but it did not blister. It finally kind of went pink, and within about 12 hours, it went completely black. And actually, the outline, it was an acquaintance of mine at the time noticed it. It almost looked like the sigil of that came with that demon, and with the animal form, the spelling, everything he told me, because I found that info about 5 years later. And it was shortly after I'd found that information when it closed on my door, and it was almost like a brand or charred, if you will. It never, it just turned completely black on my forearm. And they actually put it in our episode on Paranormal Survivor, but they made it sound like this all happened in a couple weeks. It didn't. We went through years of this. So I believe you about your shirt. Now, with your shirt, was that visible to your eye, or how did you know to take a picture of that?
I actually, when I walked in, because I was about ready to do laundry, and I started looking at my sweatshirt, and I'm like, what the heck? There wasn't nothing on this last night. And then I sat there and I kind of looked at it, and I laid it out. And then I started noticing the images from what happened from the night before with the little boy. That's why I seen it. And then I took a picture of it, circled it. That's where I know
a story of a little boy who was around the same age. He was 12. His mother also has, I really feel like this may have been a familial curse. I know people don't believe in curses, but I am telling you, it kind of went through her maternal family line. And her eldest son, when he was about 12, she got a call from the school that there was something wrong with him. And he started breaking. They were having a lot of really severe paranormal activity at the time. And he ended up taking glass and cutting into his arm and writing words like that. It wouldn't have known. It took, I think, 6 250-pound firemen and police to hold this kid down. And he ended up being hospitalized in a youth psychiatric hospital because they figured that there was something. And this little guy was terrified. He was trying to tell the nurses, tell people what he was seeing, what he was experiencing. And the mom told me that the nurse, finally, one of his main nurses, took him up, her aside and said, I believe your son believes he's seeing what he's telling us he's seeing. Like, there's no way. Like, that's almost 250 pound, 6'4", 6'5" men, plus police officers to hold this little kid down.
Yeah,
So,
it took three of us to hold this little boy down, and like I said, he was probably maybe 4'10", maybe 110 pounds soaking wet. But the fact is, he picked up the front of that riding lawnmower that had 3 blades on it. So you can just imagine a riding lawnmower that's got 3 blades on it, picking the front of it, bouncing it like a basketball right in the garage area where we were at. And it took 3 of us to hold him down to take care of that issue. And when we were doing it, he was like snarling, scratching. He's cussing at us. He said he was going to do certain things to his stepdad at the time and everything else. And I was like, that ain't going to happen. So.
No, it can definitely happen. One of the most shocking things to me, we've had a couple paranormal conferences here, and I spoke at the first one, and I met a few people from out of town that were there. And I was just absolutely shocked that they just openly admitted they worked with demons. I remember this one girl, little Asian girl, just looked like a little and I'm not being racist in any way, guys, but she looked like a little China doll, just absolutely gorgeous. And she came up to, I don't even know why she came and talked to me, but she did. And she told me she worked with demons. And I think she overheard me talking to somebody about what we had gone through in our home. And I said, really? And we had quite a conversation with the fact that I said, well, you know, she kept saying, well, demons really aren't that bad. They just get a bad rap and blah, blah, blah. And I'm really? And I said, so what price did you pay? And she said, price. She said, yep. I never paid a price. And I said, really? I said, well, angels are God's messengers here. They come here and they help humanity. And they come from a place of love. I said, why would something that's older than time do your bidding and serve you when there's nothing in it for them? I said, something is going to come and collect you today. And I really, really believe that.
There's always a toll. One of our old teammates, they had an attachment in me and the Reiki master. There's a picture. I just loaded up for you. The team lead took this picture when we were working on one of our teammates at the time. You can tell I have an SLS. The Reiki master has an SLS, but she don't. And I was doing the energy work over on her to get rid of the attachment. And as you notice, she's holding a tuning fork in her hand. And behind it, you see a face on the wall.
Yeah, I couldn't see that I think you sent me that picture before, but I can see it now. Yeah. Wow.
And
so you don't think the SLS was mapping her? Do you think it was mapping something behind her?
The face, that's like a shadow that was right there.
Right.
Because the tuning fork is in her hand, and that's like right behind her. You can actually see the around it's kind of distorted, and then you see that face right behind it.
Wow.
Yeah, he caught that when we were doing work on her that night to get rid of that, because she kept telling us and people on the team that she was going to kick our butts and everything else, and that wasn't her nature. It's like she just totally changed her mentality, and it's like, yeah, there's something wrong with her. So we ended up doing some work on her, and we got that out of her.
Carrie, thank you for sharing. She says we had our experience with our son, February, that type of experience I think that we've been talking about with young kids, February 15th, 2012, and Nate, I will never forget. Wow, Carrie. I can't even imagine.
I'd actually like to hear more about that one.
Well, Carrie's got lots of interesting experiences. She's got a lot of knowledge. She's so you'll have to see. Maybe you'll be able to connect with her. If we should probably do our station ID, because I always get talking and then I forget. It reminds me. Whoops! Almost dropped my drink. Anyways, you guys, if you're just tuning in, you're listening live to 105.3 FM in the Gulf Coast in Mississippi and 107.7 FM in the beautiful city of New Orleans. And you may be watching us as well to UFO Paranormal United Public Radio Network. And this is the Angel Rock. I'm your host, Lorilei Potvin. And my guest is Shawn Ellis of Eternal, ex-Wolfpack, Paranormal. I remembered. It was the right order.
That's all right. Everybody calls it external too once in a while, but it's eternal for like long.
Did I say external? It is eternal. Please
It's
forgive
eternal.
me.
Yes.
I had it right. I was doing it from memory. So Eternal ex-Wolfpack, Paranormal. And Kevin says he saw the face shadow and other images on that wall. Yes. And he's also loving my plaid Grinch shirt. Well, guess what, Kevin? We're doing an outfit of the day, I guess, because guess what? It's got matching pants. I already worn these guys. I'm having a hard time getting in the Christmas spirit. My youngest son passed away January 15th this year. So I just decided I'm going to be wearing Grinch stuff. And I'm not a Grinch, but I love the Grinch. So I'm going to be wearing them every day until Christmas. Who knows? Maybe even after. And Carrie says, thanks, Lorilei. Yes, Shawn, I would be open to share. So hopefully maybe you two can try and connect on Facebook afterwards. Yeah. So there was something I was just going to ask you. Give me a minute. It'll come back as I keep talking. It will come back. Maybe it was in the comments here. I seen something that I was going to say, and I thought, I should do. Do you remember what I was saying to you just before we went to our commercial break? I said, let me do our commercial break. Probably not. It's okay. Now you went on some investigations. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate that. Oh, you got another picture or a video you want me to pull up?
Yeah, because I remember I told you guys I would tell you because you were just on here recently and you were talking about dolls. Well, we had an investigation at a trailer park, and this is what happened with some of the dolls we had. We had a REM pod between their legs, and the REM pod was going off. There's no electronics in it, no robotics in any of these dolls at all.
It's going to make you feel nice and strong if you keep touching. Come on.
Well, I've got something in my bag. I can put energy in it.
You got Sparky?
I got Sparky here.
Yeah, go get Sparky.
Carrie says she's on Instagram.
Come on. I see the green. Can you bring me back to red?
We can give it some energy.
Please hear my voice. I hear your voice.
I have some bad rocks from Skylar.
There you go. Okay, there's green. Now bring me back to red.
I gotta ask you something.
You want some
that doll with the K2. Is it a K2?
It's a REM pod, yeah.
Okay. If you're standing behind it, did its right arm just move? Because I think I just saw that.
Possibly. I've got another one with a video with lasers in it, and you can actually see a shadow around these dolls, and they're still sitting in the same spot.
No, it looked like it moved ever so slightly. I was watching it. We'll just keep playing. Go ahead. We'll see. Maybe it's playing tricks on my eyes.
Energy, take it up to yellow for me.
Good job. Now can you get me to yellow?
I'll give you some energy if you get it to yellow.
Come on.
I just want to tell you, Kevin, thank you. Kevin says before the break, Shawn, you were asking to hear more of, I believe, Carrie's story. So thanks for the reminder. Carrie's on Instagram, by the way, Carrie Fast. There, you guys are both. You're on Facebook too, Carrie, aren't you? Because I know Shawn's on Facebook. Yeah. Okay, let's keep watching this.
Come on, you got it. Oh, come on. There, that's nice and strong. I see that. Let's go back to red.
That's, like I said, they don't have any robotics, no batteries, no nothing are in those dolls. And the client was having weird things happen at her house in her trailer. So
now bump it to red.
We investigated there and we came up with what happened there.
Good job.
Come on. Give me red. Can you show me red?
There, you wanted some energy?
Yeah. I'm down to like nothing.
So what I ended up doing, you can take this one down. What I ended up doing, I added a Tesla coil to it to give them some more energy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this is what happened. And you can see shadows around it in this one.
Good job. I can see the green.
Give it Sparky.
Come on. Can you get me up to red?
I'm going to have to take this off.
How old are you, Joyce?
Okay, you can turn the light back on.
Nah, just leave it off for Sparky.
Green and yellow.
Oh, yeah, well, I need to see here real quick.
Come on, bring it on. Get that energy.
Come on, show me
Come
red.
on.
Can you show me the red?
Come on, get it all good, girl. boy.
Do you have a plug-in
Come
like
on,
really close
take
by?
my energy.
There you
That's
go.
it, take my energy.
Good job.
Come on,
Can you give me the yellow?
take it to the next one. Come on,
Okay, just
I have good
set it on
energy
there.
for you.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I said this was her home.
That's good as long as it's a good home.
Come on. Can you get me back to yellow? You were doing so good. Come on. Show me green strong. Woo.
It doesn't look. Hang on.
That's when we set the Tesla coil off and started giving it more energy because we knew it wasn't anything bad. So, but
No,
we wanted.
I'm always interested in hearing, when you've got the device going, but you've also got, was it the spirit box you had or a communication device
Yeah.
going? Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So you've been talking about the last two recent investigations you went on. Do you want to talk a little bit about where they are? Because we got people watching from all over the world. So there'll be people that won't have a clue where it is or maybe why you went to these places. And, what did you catch anything interesting, unusual? Or
Actually, I got invited to go to Melbourne, Iowa, to Melbourne Manor with Phantom Pals Paranormal, and we went there. And
what is Melbourne Manor? Like, if we got people watching from Australia and
it's a big, huge mansion, and I actually got some pictures here too of that. Let me bring them up, and it's easier to explain. But
I've heard of it, but for people that haven't, like, what is it famous for? Because I know you're not the only thing that's gone
it's
there.
for being haunted. It's definitely for being haunted, a haunted area.
Is it because it's historical, or is it because there's a lot of
they had a hospital there at one point? They've had let's see, kind of what I call a mental home for disabled people.
Yeah,
they were there as well. I'm trying to find it here.
So there was a lot of tragedy, more than likely, with the living.
Oh yeah, a lot of stuff went on in this place.
Because that's usually when the place is well known. If it's a jail or even there's usually something that went on throughout history there. Even if it's a hospital, a lot of times it's a morgue, or there's a lot of tragedy, even if people lived in the home.
Right, that is Melbourne Manor.
Oh, it's a nice looking place.
Yeah,
probably not great.
It's huge. I mean, it's really huge. Let's see. Some of the things that was in here. We had some more haunted dolls that we come across.
How old is this doll? Do you know, Shawn, or like did they just?
The owner told us he got a hold of the doll one time and didn't exactly know what date it was, but he set it on a counter, and supposedly the doll moved off because it's been in the box the whole time. He said it moved off the counter on its own and broke its legs. And supposedly this doll moves around the house on its own. And we seen it upstairs in the attic at the time when I was there.
So does it get out of the box, or does he leave the box open, or? He
leaves it as is, and he says he finds that box with that doll all over in that house in different locations.
So that's interesting. Did you guys get anything off that doll when you were there at all?
Yeah, there's a little bit of energy off it. I could definitely feel that. One of the other things we did, we actually got some activity. Let's see if I can find the video here of the guy from the room down the hall. And
oh no, I kicked you out, Shawn. I didn't mean to, guys. I was trying to get him. I'm going to tell him just come right back on. It's not his fault. It's mine. Sorry. I'm going to say, come back in. Back in. I was trying to remove his links and it wouldn't let me remove his links. So give me 1 sec, guys. I was afraid that was going to happen, but we don't know unless we try, right? So, oh, there he is. good thing he's a seasoned pro and not me. Sorry, I was. You know what? I wanted to see if I could remove it. It wouldn't let me remove it. I'm sorry. That's why. Thank God we're on Facebook Messenger. I do that with every one of my guests because it's so much quicker. And guys, that's my fault. Sorry.
That's all right.
Wow, Lorilei. Michelle always likes to give me the gears.
So here's one of the clips from Malvern Manor when I was down the hall. We did a little bit of stuff, but
I'll let you set it up. Just so you guys know, though, the reason why, because I know, like, that's why when I set up StreamYard, that's not the way you're supposed to show clips. I have to load them off of Messenger and I have the fastest, and it's like not slow Wi-Fi, like it's pretty fast Wi-Fi. It'll take all my bandwidth, even with this being a gaming computer. So that's why I was closing it so we don't start to stutter. So that's why, you guys, I was trying to give you a good viewing experience. It's not Sean's fault, it's mine. Anyway, set it up, Sean. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, anyway, down the hall in this area, there's a guy that supposedly comes out of the door on the right-hand side at the very end. And we set up a laser grid and stuff there and to see what would happen. Okay. And I don't know if it's all in this video, but if you go to my Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal page, you can catch the video of the 2-part series of Malvern Manor on there. That we actually got a shadow figure to walk out of that door.
Oh, wow.
And he was messing with the REM pod. It was going off big time, just lighting up. I don't know if it shows it in this little clip I got here or not. But
okay, before you go any further, there could be people listening that have no idea what a REM pod is. So I know what it is, you know what it is. Can you explain what a REM pod is to people that are listening?
A REM pod is a device that has 4 lights on it, and it has like an antenna on top of it. And the closer you get to the antenna, the lights will go off. And if you just go so far against it, you can get it to turn blue. You can get it to turn yellow. You can get it to turn green, or you can just hold it and all the lights will go off. But if something touches it, that's what makes that REM pod go off. That's what you see.
Like the noise. So when you say something was messing with it, because I've seen it in many investigations, right? You can say to a spirit, okay, can you let go? And depending on what kind of mood it's spirits in, they'll just let go, or they might just keep hanging on or setting it off.
It's like you seen the one with the dolls that was sitting between the legs. That's a REM pod, the one you seen in the video with the dolls. And like I said, we set that one between the dolls, and those were active because what was there was touching that antenna. And there wasn't nothing around those dolls. They were just sitting there, and that REM pod was going off.
I'm glad you said REM pod, because that's why I asked you if it was a K2. But my screen is always pretty small, right? So I'm glad you said that was a REM pod.
Well, some people's got the big round REM pods. I've got a mini REM pod. It's about half the size of those, and I can carry it actually in my pocket. So So when I'm walking around on an investigation, I can just pull it out of my pocket and set it on the floor. But that's. I've got a mini REM pod is what that is.
It kind of looks like a K2, right? I didn't have my glasses on, and so I thought
it's a little bit bigger than a K2, but yeah.
Okay, well, let's pull this up then, and we'll have. Thank you for sharing all these awesome clips with us tonight. I really appreciate that, because this is cool stuff.
So they actually set this up, and down at the very end of the hall, there's supposed to be a shadow man down there. And every once in a while, you can see something slightly moving down there.
I thought that was the shadow man until I see her.
Yeah, that's Leah. She's part of Phantom Palace Paranormal.
I like that grid. Where'd you guys get that one at?
And they got some really cool equipment, too. So...
Everybody, Julie just said, thanks for sharing this. This is cool. Sorry, guys, I got to mute messages.
And in this location just behind us, there was like a rec room, and there's a green balloon that was in there. It was moving around on its own in the rec room.
What the fuck?
Oh, wow. Well, listen to the music.
Yeah. We were trying to entice it to come out, but if you go to the video on my page. Like I said, we got laser grids and everything else up of it, and you can see a lot of cool stuff in there.
Yes.
Okay, so what's at the end of the hallway? I just saw a light flash.
There's 2 doors down there, and if you're looking at it from my point of view or our point of view from the screen, there's the door on the right, which the guy was in. They call the Shadow Man.
No, but go ahead. Sorry, Shawn. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, but that's what they call the Shadow Man. So
no, but the other door where the REM pod was, just towards the end of that video, there was a flash. It looked like into the darkness, and it wasn't the doors that it just turned around and looked at where the yellow balloon or the greenish balloon was.
Mm-hmm.
It was the other doors. There was a little flash in there. Did anybody else see that when you were watching it?
I can check that out.
It's right towards. Do you want me to play it again? And I'll just I'll play just that last little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Maybe I missed something.
Okay, I think this is the one. Okay, yeah. I'm going to play it, but I'm going to pause it and let's see if I can advance it. It was right maybe about here. Okay, let's see.
Okay. Oh. No.
Yes.
Yeah, there. Did you see that?
You're horrible.
And before that, just before that, so there's just this little spark. It almost looked like a really, really, really light orb. And I don't have my glasses. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Time for truth. Kevin says same thing. I seen that little white light too, Laura. Yeah, and just before, because I was watching it so close, because I knew where it was going to come. It looks like there might be 5 to 10 seconds left. It's right towards the last end of it. There, just before, if you watch it really close, it looks like there's a little faint, almost like orb, almost, and then you see that flash.
I didn't notice that, but
that's why you get other people to watch too, isn't that cool? And the reason why I say that, because there's lots of people, like say, I like Nuke's Top 5, and the reason why I like it is because, and Tina Luma Soul saw it, Lisa Martinello saw it, Michelle Wilfong saw it, a whole bunch of people saw it. Because see, with Nuke's Top 5, he always, have you ever watched that channel?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you gotta check it out. Okay, so he always says it all an elaborate hoax. You decide. People send in the creepiest, freakiest videos from around the world. And he never tells you what to believe. He just put a new video out, I think today or late last night. I just watched that. It was pretty creepy. But some are okay. But he's been around for 10 years. He just announced it was his 10-year anniversary this week, being on YouTube. And lots of times if he misses stuff, people will say to him, oh, did you see that? Did you see that? And he'll go back and he'll tell you too. Like if I missed it, or if he slows something down, because he's not a debunker, but he's a bit of a skeptic. So he'll tell you, I might have lightened this up a little bit just to check for myself or check for audio distortion. Or he gets some pretty creepy stuff sent in from around the world. Mm-hmm. Kevin says he saw the tiny faint orb floating too. Sorry, I got a cat hair on me.
No, we're definitely going to have a show here pretty soon of all the stuff we found in Melbourne. So I think maybe next Saturday or Sunday, maybe I'll have a doubleheader, and we'll talk about the stuff we've seen with their videos and what we've got clips out of. But you actually caught something I missed, so that's a good deal.
Well, it's not, but that's not your fault, right? Because what people don't understand when you're a paranormal investigator, unless you do it yourself, there are hours of watching. Like all your evidence, every camera, all the audio. That's why it's good. Like when you have a group like this, other people watching it, if you miss it, that's okay. You can't, like, people don't understand. Like if you investigate for 8 hours and you've got 10 2 cameras, whatever it is usually more than that. That's a lot of evidence to go through.
Yeah, it is. Definitely, for sure. That's when I like when I do lives, I always say, if you see something I don't, hop in the chat and holler at me, because, I can go back and find out what it was.
What one do you want me to show? There's download 14 JPEG or Malvern Manor with a P.
The 14 is the same hallway with the laser grid setting up. That's how we had it all setting up when we we're finding the shadow person and stuff. We set up the laser grid in there.
My glasses.
And then we had a REM pod down at the very end of the hall because there's a chair there on your left-hand side. And I actually went down there and started sitting during the live.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, if you'd like to come out and talk to me, you can come out and talk to me. I'll talk to you. And then all of a sudden, the REM pod down at the end of that hall and that live video that we did from there, the REM pod was just going crazy.
And that's what the other cool part is. Like even some of the stuff that we showed, say with the dolls, I think we showed the guy on Thursday night on Beneath the Hollow Moon, Carrie Lynn and I, that was recorded live. So it really takes away, or it actually adds to, this was real, right? Because it's a little harder to fake something live, unless it's obvious, than it is. I know you know this, but other people checking it out too, right? Versus recorded. But you guys recorded this live. So again, even though you're going through all this, that's why it's sometimes nice to have different eyes, right? Taking a look at it. And I always hate to say new stuff. Did you see it? A lot of times you don't, because it just goes so freaking fast.
Right. It does. But yeah, that was one of the things there. And then the next little picture there was one from the little girl's room. And we had a dead man's bell sitting actually on that little dresser there. You can see it actually.
What?
It's called a dead man's bell. It's kind of like an old bell you would see on your teacher's desk, and it's got a sensor on it. And we set it there on that desk, and that bell would go off every once in a while when we were asking questions as well.
That's always creepy, isn't it?
Yeah, I actually like it. I thought it was pretty cool. You definitely did invest in one.
But I mean, for people that don't realize that, like, the bell shouldn't be going off unless something, you just have to gently brush against it, right? And it'll go off.
That I like it when it's like that, though. But see, when I do live videos of investigations when I'm there, I never edit anything. What you see when I'm there is what you get. And when people say, hey, I seen this, I'll turn around and I'll look for it. I'll try to find what they seen that I missed when we're doing the investigation. But I never.
Adds to the reality factor of it. Again, you're streaming what's happening in real time for people to see, right?
And I never go back and I never edit any pictures, any of the videos or anything. So what you see is what I actually seen. Or like I said, even when you holler at me during the investigation, it's like, hey, I seen this. I'll turn around and look for you. I'll either debunk it and try to find out what it is. So what
but you should debunk everything that happens, right? Because people don't realize that not everything's paranormal, right? And a good investigator, I think, should try to debunk it.
And most definitely.
So I got cat hair all over my lip gloss here. Sorry, guys. Thanks, Stephen Nicole. She's right off to the side. No, but that adds to the reality factor of it. Now, the reason why, too, and I've noticed, like, I love to watch Paranormal Nightmare Friday night. You guys want to know where I am Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern? Always on Paranormal Nightmare YouTube live chat. Always, because they put a new investigation up. And I have caught things, too, that, and it's not that I think I'm so special. There's other people that do too, even though they filmed it live. And what I like about these brothers, do you ever watch them at all too, Shawn?
I haven't seen any of those either.
Yeah, they're the Foreman brothers. And the reason why I really have a lot of belief in them, they were the center of a haunting when there were 3 little boys and they had nobody to go to. They have a TV series, but they've been doing this for probably 12, 14 years. And what they do is they go and help other families with severe hauntings. They get called into the really dark stuff. Like last week's investigation, they went to, I forget where it was, because I think they're in Ohio, and they went to some place I don't think they've been to, or they haven't been in a long time. And they've had really bad things happen to them at Bobby Mackey's. If you guys have ever heard about it.
I've heard of that, yes.
It's not around anymore. Well, what they didn't realize is some of the stuff from Bobby Mackey's, this guy had put in this dwelling, like kind of like Malvern Manor. This is a place in, I believe it's in Ohio. Those guys had crazy stuff happen to them. And they got Carl from Bobby Mackey's coming through because Carl's chair was there, and supposedly Carl was demonically possessed. It was a crazy episode. But again, they've been doing this live, helping people. I never look at anybody that say has to charge for gas money or anything. These guys don't charge a penny and never have. Like, they just go to the US, and it's all done through their YouTube channel and stuff. But and these people, nobody, they haven't been able to get rid of what's in their home. Like, it's just the most incredible stories and the things they've documented. And I think they're doing it for the right reasons.
Well, this, if you go to the first one, it says Peg 1.
What the heck is that?
That is what I caught at a resident's house. I was actually holding up my camera, just holding it in my hand. And I said, if you want to have a picture taken, I'll take your picture. And next thing you know, I didn't even touch it, and the camera went off.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've had that happen at my previous home. Yeah. There's one picture I have, and like, I've released a lot of pictures to the public. There is one, I don't know what this is. It looks like a bunch of flame. And I never noticed till I actually was sharing it with someone. I was on my laptop in my previous home. I just about fainted when I seen it on full screen. Right at the top, it looks like there's two eyes, and you can see a bit of a hairline coming. Oh, it's creepy.
Yeah. And then the second one, I actually circled what we've seen in it.
Okay, because Kevin thinks from the first picture looks like a big cat. So let's look at the second one.
It actually starting to look like it's forming a little bit there in that picture. But yeah, I didn't even touch it. I was just holding it up, said, you want your picture taken? And it goes click, click on its own.
Wow, that's crazy. I have a picture I was just thinking of. I don't think I've ever sent it to you privately to send it with you. This was a friend of mine, and we were talking on Messenger video. And I was in the most active part of my house in the basement. And yeah, I scribbled out her face, but you can, just for her privacy, I didn't know she was taking these pictures. You should see this thing that pops up behind me. Oh, I still don't know. There's a big thing, and then the little one almost looks like, I would say, Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast. Like, it almost looks that way, but creepy. And she took a succession of pictures, and you can see when it's not there, when it starts to form, when it forms, and it looks like it's got big round eyes and big mouth. It is so freaking creepy. And like, the reason what made me think of that is, so first of all, you said, hey, if I heard you correctly, do you want me to take your picture? But you didn't take the picture. The picture took itself. And then the second one, you can see something starting to materialize.
Yep. It was pretty cool. It was definitely cool when that happened. But we had that at a residential's house.
Wow. We've got Les on the go joining us over on Instagram. Thanks for tuning in. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, I gotta go back here for a second, change the format real quick.
No worries. Take your time.
Because I got to pick the video file for it.
I'll see if you guys, if you want, I'll see if I can send myself that picture, because I'm telling you, that is one heck of a creepy pic. And I don't think I've ever shown that on this show. So you can grab yours. And I know we're not talking about all my stuff here, but this is like something popping up on the screen, like behind me. Here it is right here. I'll find it. I have a whole thing. You know, do you ever use Snapchat at all? Okay, so Snapchat, do you remember back in the day, there were things going around where if you put a filter on and people could change their face and their voice, and they look like little animals. But then there was videos showing up of people that the face would be on them, and a face would, like, all the filter would appear next to them. I just realized I have a bunch of those pictures from Snapchat in my old house, and it keeps showing up around me, like it's duplicate facing. And it was live, like it wasn't like just a picture. It was creepy. There should not have been a second filter, because the filter only would track where your facial features were. And that's why it would put say like the dog or the animal feature. I think it's a teddy bear and a pirate that I'm looking at them right now. So talk about creepy. I'm looking for you got it there. Go ahead. You can explain it, please.
This was in another resident's house. He actually sent me this video off his cam. And that orb is floating around, and that's why he called us to come check it out.
It might be hard to see. I'll see if I can see it.
You might have to rewind it again. It kind of goes quick.
Okay, give me a sec. Okay. Too bad we can't loop it. Okay, so
but it actually comes over off the right-hand side right there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would say that's an orb.
Yeah. Me and one of my teammates actually went out there and put up a live and did a live investigation from there and tried to do everything to replicate that, and we could never come up with anything.
That is what I would call an orb. Okay. That acts like an orb.
Yeah. Come to find out, he actually uses a little, what do you call it? A treasure finder. What do you call them?
A metal detector.
Metal detector. And he actually finds old treasures in the ground. And he's actually got a lot of stuff that he doesn't know where it came from. So.
Oh, wow.
So
I'm going to show you guys this creepy picture I was talking about. I'm not because we're here to see Shawn's stuff, but just for creepy stuff packing up, showing up in the background. This is creepy, this thing. Okay, share screen. Come on. Anytime now. Sometimes it pops up. Sometimes. Did it pop up? Let me see. Did it pop up yet? Okay. It might be hard to see, but I'll try and make it bigger. This is the thing that popped up behind me. This thing. There was nothing there. I don't know if you guys can see that thing.
Mm-hmm.
There, it looks like that thing almost looks like Lumiere. If you can see my cursor, yep. I don't know if you guys can or not at the bottom. And this thing's hard to see, but if you see it with a bit of say on Facebook or whatever, it's tall, it's thin. It almost looks like it's wearing a hat with a shadow behind it, and it's got big long eyes and this round mouth. And I didn't even know it was there. She didn't tell me till afterwards that she was taking this. I didn't see it. Did not hear it. Did not anything. Like, that was just creepy.
Yeah, you can definitely see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but that's the thing, right? Like, and then how do these things show up on camera? Like, what are they? Because you know what I wanted to ask you? When you were at the beginning of the show, you were talking about you were getting these visions and you thought like demons showing up and whatever. And then angels, were you ever shown why something demonic was showing up? Like, did it ever tell you why? Because I think they know what we're going to be doing in the future, right? Like, was it trying to scare you, do you think? Or why do you think that kind of showed up?
I think it was testing me at the time. I was friends with a couple preachers at the time, and I would talk to them when I would have some of these dreams that I was having. And at first they thought I was a little crazy. And then one day, one of the guys came to work and I said, "Did you have a bad night at work last night?" And he goes, kind of looks at me, and I said, "Did you go out to the back porch?" Because he worked at a KCCD home to help the handicapped people. And I said, "Did you walk out on the back porch?" And he just kind of looked at me funny. And I said, "And you just kind of like, it's one of those nights and you just felt like it was super bad." And he looked at me kind of funny. And I said, "I'm going to tell you something really strange now." And he's like, "What's that?" I said, "I visually seen through your eyes. You walk out the back door, go onto the porch, look out into the backyard of the location you were at, and there was a devil dog standing on top of the garage looking at you, asking you where your God was there." And he looked at me like I had a deep feeling of something back there at the time. And he says, I said, "I wasn't anywhere around the house. I wasn't even close to you when that happened." And he's like, "Wow." But then that's when they started digging into certain things of the scripture. It says, young men will dream dreams of yet to come. So they started thinking that since I was having these visions, that's what it was, is me being able to see things before they happen sometimes.
Okay. No, have you guys run into anything negative while you've been investigating?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, the one with the little 12-year-old boy that I showed you the pictures of, definitely that one. Another team, Parallax Paranormal, called the old team I was on into an investigation here where I live at in Galesburg. And before they ever investigated the house, they found a half of a body in there.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they were called in. And they said, well, there's something in here we don't understand. So they called us to come help them on the next investigation. It was a 14-hour investigation, and we started putting things together.
Wow.
And we were getting EVPs down in the basement of murder, rape, kill. It was actually saying those words.
Mm-hmm.
And we got up toward the attic, and we actually found articles of John Wayne Gacy and Charles Manson in the attic, along with pornography that you can't talk about on the air.
Well, we're on YouTube, so we got to be careful with those words.
So, but yeah. So anyway, they had a picture of this little boy, and they couldn't figure out where the picture was. So the old lead looked through the book and found the picture of the boy in that book. It was one of the books made from the late 60s, early 70s, and it was published. And it was a thick book of pornography. I'll leave it at that, with kids.
So, yeah, PDF files is what we usually call them.
And anyway, me and the lady that was on Parallax Paranormal, Shannon, we were downstairs in the kitchen area, and I said, you can feel it following me and you around. And she goes, yeah. She said, it keeps flicking my ear. So toward the end of the investigation, we went back downstairs where we were getting all the bad EVPs. And I said to her, I says, do you have any salt on you? And she goes, yeah. So I gave her all my crystals at the time, except for one. And I gave it all of them to her. She gave me the salt. I started to put a salt ring around me. And the guy that was filming that night said he felt something walk right through him, come directly toward me. And I had that salt ring around me, so I knew it was in there with me, so it couldn't go anywhere.
That's what I was seeing as you were saying that. You put the ring around, but he was already in there.
Yeah, he was right there. He was right there with me, because when I gave up all my protection, he was standing right there with me, and he couldn't go anywhere. Mm-hmm. So then I actually entrapped him in that crystal that night. And that night after we did that, we had 14 kids' names come over the Ovilus. And they were walking past the REM pod as they did it. So we knew 14 people walked by with their names. They got released from the spirit that was keeping them there.
So I just for information's sake, so why do you trap something like that in a crystal, and what kinds do you use? I'm just asking you out of curiosity. I've heard of other people doing it, and I just am asking because I know crystals can break. There's lots of stuff that can happen with them. So I'm just sort of asking from your perspective.
One thing I use is crystals that are untainted, has no flaws, for one. And the reason why I put them in there is because they're so bad, they don't need to be there anymore. And they don't need to be having harm to any kids or any of the family.
No, I understand that. But,
mm-hmm. So Anubis is the one that showed me how to do that. And that's how I took care of the attachment with the 12-year-old little boy that night, mm-hmm. as well. And I stuck it in a crystal. And then I would take it and I'd go put it in salt. And I would take it out to a location where there's water. So between the salt and the water, it'll suck that energy out from it and just deteriorate it. So so it's not going to be causing anybody any more problems, and they haven't had any more issues at either places since then either.
Because Michelle Pratt's adding, I would put salt across the doorway of a girl who would always go crazy at work. She said, always helpful. And then Julie says, I've used my Vogel crystal for that. Now, Vogel crystals are certainly intriguing. There's only one person in the world, if they're even still alive, that knows, who's been trained by Marcel Vogel to cut them. These crystals, I have knockoffs, but I use mine for healing work. And I actually have quite a few interesting patterns within them. Have you ever seen a Vogel before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's interesting, Julie, that you use the Vogels for that, because Vogels are pretty powerful. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And for people that don't know what they are, they're in one of them's in here unless you got one handy. They were. Do you have one handy by any chance? If not, I'll find mine. I found.
I don't have any on me right now.
So these are just knockoffs. But okay, so what the story is, quickly, people for listening are wondering what a Vogel crystal is. It is a crystal. What happened was, you guys that are old enough to remember DVDs and CDs that had that metallic foil coating on them. Marcel Vogel used to work he was a scientist. He used to work at IBM. He created that. And because a friend of mine, he used to be on the show quite a bit. The first year was on UPRN, Dan Lewis. He worked with Marcel Vogel. So when Marcel retired, he had absolutely zero interest in spirituality, healing, or crystals, but he was looking for a project and something to do. And I believe he wanted to understand why a quartz crystal in old watches was always used to help energize a battery or winding them. He was looking at something called the piezoelectric charge of a quartz crystal. So he started to think, if I cut that crystal on certain angles, could I magnify that energy, whether it's the intention we're setting in or whatever. And I know you may know this, but for people listening. So I remember asking my friend Dan, him and his wife gave each other an actual Vogel crystal cut by Marcel. He's no longer alive. And I remember asking Dan, this had to be about 6 years ago, was there anybody still alive who had been trained by Marcel Vogel to cut them? And he said, one person. It cost like thousands and thousands of dollars. But they do get manufactured. I don't know if you guys can see this, but mine's got like striations within the crystal itself because I have twins. So I use them with my crystal Reiki. I use them with just energy healing and stuff like that. And get super, super, super hot when I use them too. So there's something to these angles.
I like using crystals in some of the stuff I do as well.
Oh, Mish is always funny. She goes, I love people who bang on about the woo-woo of crystals. I remind them of quartz watches, LOL. Yes, but watches use that because crystals have, and I just found out the name of this, piezoelectric charge, probably a couple months ago, and started looking into it. But that's what they utilize with the quartz crystal to help maintain the battery or energy of a watch. That's why they're in there.
That's one thing I like to do is I like to meditate with like a cat's eye or obsidian or jasper and stuff like that because you'll pick up on the frequency of that crystal.
Yeah, crystals are a great thing to take into a meditation. I always tell people if you don't have a lot of crystals, the beauty in a quartz crystal is it's able to hold the frequency of any crystal. So I always tell people when you're starting out, because crystals can get quite expensive, is you don't even have to know what the name is. You can just ask for whatever you need in that moment. And I think it's all about intention, right? And giving. So Mish then added, nothing is ever perfect. That's, oh God, now this thing's trying to give off our QR code for some reason, guys. Kathy Hanlon Little says she has a Vogel. And, oh, cool, Julie. She said hers is 13-sided. Hang on. Okay, so Mish wants to know this. Is cat's eye man-made? I think if you got a cat's eye, but... oh God, tiger's eye crystals. No, I don't think they're man-made. Do you?
Yeah, I don't think they're man-made either. I think they're actually authentically from the earth and tumbled.
I think the only one that could be well, there's probably lots of them. One that comes to mind is bismuth. It's so beautiful. It's almost like holographic when you hold it up. It's very metallic. So, yeah, crystals are pretty cool. One of my best friends, Leanne Clark. I call her the Crystal Wizardress, but she's known as the Crystal Architect on Facebook and YouTube. That woman blows my mind. If I don't know something about a crystal, I could just send her a picture. She knows immediately what it is used for. Yeah, she knows all kinds. Michelle, yeah, it is metalish. It's kind of fragile too. I can definitely say that. Bismuth.
Another thing I like to do is when I'm sleeping at night, I'll actually play certain frequencies at night, all night long, in order to connect with some of my guides as well.
Well, you can use binaural beats or certain kinds of megahertz and what you're trying to achieve. There's all kinds of things. Yeah, I do that at nighttime too sometimes. The other thing I do at nighttime before I go to bed, this might help anybody, is in the morning, try and do a quick gratitude, but at nighttime, a gratitude list. And then before I close my eyes, I ask my team and my guides, and I believe we all have them. So if this resonates with anybody, you're welcome to try it yourself. Ask them to come in and heal anything that needs healing while you're sleeping. So I imagine almost like, oh God, now it's giving me visions of Michael Jackson. But I almost imagine like a bubble over top of me and ask them to come in and assist with healing, because our bodies naturally heal when we sleep anyway. So sometimes it's a really good time to do that. Mm-hmm.
Most definitely.
Yes. So have you got we only got a few minutes left. See how fast this went by? I knew it would. Any other thing else you want to show us before you go? I don't want to, I've talked a lot here, so I don't want to.
I only had a couple pictures actually from Rock Island Arsenal where I was at, because I went live there. And we actually got some, like I said, if you want to go check it out on the Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal page, we have that of the Rock Island Arsenal when we were there.
We can show some if you want. We still got time.
I only got like 2 pictures, me and the group in front of the house. Because like I said, I went live there and I didn't really get a chance to take a lot of pictures in general.
Okay. But, yeah, you don't think about that when you're live, right? Like most people don't. I know I don't think about that. Well, even something you picked up or a story about what you experienced. Like, so again, where is this place you went to and why would it be significant? Not only is it haunted, but is there some type of history there or something that you think could be contributing?
Well, a lot of military stuff happened there. They had the first courtroom there. A lot of military people stayed there. They've got a lot of tunnels underneath the ground, because that's where the Rock Island Arsenal was. It was where they made bullets and stuff, and they stored them for everybody at the time. So, but this house right here is like huge on there. And,
so where is it located, Shawn, again? Because a lot of people like listening from around the world will have no idea. So it's in the United States. So
it's in Rock Island, Illinois.
Okay. It's a beautiful looking house.
Well, yeah, it's well maintained. Everything's authentic in it. That is me. That is Alfredo. The girls from Haunted Happy Hour and Cheryl from Illinois Paranormal Research. She invited us there, and like I said, if you look in the background there, you can tell the house is well maintained. It's got nice walls, the original trim boards and everything in there. But catch the video. I did some work down there too with Alfredo, and we actually caught some stuff down in a tunnel area where the REM pod was going off, where Lillian was sitting, and she said she actually felt something down there as well.
So what is one of the scariest things you've experienced? Obviously with this 12-year-old little boy, I can't even imagine how terrifying that would be. But have you had anything that's been pretty creepy, spooky kind of thing that comes to mind?
I wouldn't say I've been freaked out or super scared. I mean, the one with the little boy caught me off guard because it wasn't long after I got into the paranormal.
You don't expect that.
Yeah, into the paranormal field, and like I said, Anubis, that very morning is who taught me how to take care of that with the crystal and how to take away that attachment. And it was like I was called to do that. It was really weird, but I would say the most intense investigation I had is the one we had here in Galesburg, Illinois, at a residence where they found that half body at.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's pretty mind blowing with some of the things you shared.
Teaming up with Parallax Paranormal that night, and that house is huge, and yeah, with all that going on that night, that was probably the most intense investigation I've been on.
What about EVPs? Have you got any really interesting, like Class A EVPs? It doesn't have to be Class A, just something really even, really surprising or crazy that you've caught on an EVP.
Hang on a second. I got something that I'll share with you that actually freaked out the old lead on the old team here. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Okay.
So
I just probably.
There was a hair salon here in Galesburg, Illinois that was having stuff go on.
Okay.
And the women in there seen the barber chair come up off the platform and hit the floor.
Oh, wow.
And we started going through the investigation and starting to find out bits and pieces. And it was talking about certain things. And the lady that owned the place said one of her beauticians went to Okinawa on vacation. So we think it followed her from there because it was describing her family members. But here's one of the clips that happened in the break room area with me that freaked out the lead of the old team I was on.
You cannot enter me.
Hello, Shawn.
Holy shit! Oh!
How are you?
Oh my God! The lights are moving right next to Shawn. And he goes, you cannot enter me. And that fucker goes on the island.
That's always creepy when you hear your name.
How are you?
Oh my God.
Portal.
Yes, we know there's.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting. It said portal too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But
Well,
yeah,
you guys. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Shawn. Go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, that really freaked him out. That's one day I won't forget. I had to laugh at him because he just took off out of the room when that happened.
Like Kevin just said, hello, Shawn. Well, you know what? I am so glad you came on. I'm booking into April now, 2026. But if you're open to it, I'd love to have you back on again, and we'll go even deeper. But in the meantime, Shawn, where can people find you? Your podcast? Where can they watch the whole clips of all of this?
You can go to Facebook on Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal, and you can find me on YouTube as well under Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal. And the videos of all the investigations are on there. And the ones I've teamed up with as well. My podcast shows on both of them as well. And also you can find me on All Access Network television as well.
What nights are your podcasts, so Shawn? Like, how can people watch it? What time and where can they find it?
You can find them at Sundays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And every Sunday on my pages.
Good. So Facebook and YouTube, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Facebook and YouTube.
Everybody's going, great show. Thank you, Shawn. Thank you, Shawn. Awesome show and guests. Everybody enjoyed having you on. I'm glad you guys did, but don't go anywhere because right after this, in about 10 minutes, you're going to be seeing Preston Dennett and Dolly Saffron with the Light Gate. And what I was going to say, Heidi, I cannot remember the name of the new show with the guys coming on in about 4 hours. Michelle DeRoche is going to be on. These guys are cryptid classics, I believe. They have a lot to do with Bigfoot and stuff. So they are coming on in 2 hours from Dolly and Preston. So you guys are going to be full of awesome stuff. I want to thank Carnation, Two Cryptid Legends. Thank you, Heidi Gall. That's right. Saying, Heidi, are you here? Heidi's always on top of our network stuff. She just promotes the heck out of everybody's show. She knows what's coming up. So thank you, Ron Moorhead and Daryl Denton. That's who they are, our new hosts at, so let's see, it'll be 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's called Two Cryptid Legends with Ron Moorhead and Daryl Denton. And they're going to have Michelle DeRoche on tonight, you guys, so you don't want to miss it. If you guys ever want to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me on Facebook.com/The Angel Rock. That's my business page. But the fastest and easiest way to get a hold of me usually is Facebook Messenger or any social media platform. I'm on YouTube, The Angel Rocker Tribe. I do psychic and crystal, psychic readings, mediumship, do crystal Reiki and energy healing. I do teaching and mentoring. I have 2 groups on Facebook, Facebook Paranormal University for all things paranormal, and the Angel Rocker Tribe for all things spiritual. Don't forget to tune in, because Carrie Lynn and I are going to be here Thursday night, 7:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Beneath the Hollow Moon. We need to connect up, and we're booking till way past the end of the show. I'm going to give you guys a little heads up. We are doing a show Christmas night, 7 p.m. Eastern, and New Year's Day night, 7 p.m. Eastern. And if you would join us, we would love to have you do this Christmas night. It was Carrie Lynn's idea, and I was so touched about it. My son, Justin, who passed away, like I said, January 15th of this year, he had severe autism, and he loved chicken nuggets and fries from McDonald's. So Carrie Lynn and I, as long as McDonald's is open, and I believe it is, we are picking up chicken nuggets and French fries Christmas night to honor Jesse, and we'd love to have you join us to do that if you want. Okay, guys, so keep that tuned in. Next Monday, sorry, I can't talk. Our guest is Fatula Fatini Adrimi. Sorry, I hope I get that right. He's from Egypt. I forget what his book is about, you guys. I just looked up his name right now. Seems like the nicest person from his emails. So it'll be something spooky. I'm sure it will be. So we will see you then. We love you guys all. Thanks again, Shawn, so much for being here.
Thanks for having me on.
It went by way too quick.
Well, it did when you were on my show as well, and we're definitely going to have a round 3 for both of us on one.
I hope so. I look forward to it. Night, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. We'll see you on Thursday and next Monday. And stay tuned for Dolly and Preston.
Have a great night.